Greetings, adventurers. This is DM Kurt, and I recently heard that WizKids just released a $400 figure of a dragon. And I commented on someone's video that it falls outside of my philosophy in several ways, so I'll explain. Why wouldn't you want to spend $400 on a miniature of a dragon? Well, it's first of all, it's 2 foot by 2 foot, and it's going to spend a lot of time just sitting because you're not going to be throwing dragons at your party very often. Now, that's a waste of space. I keep my miniatures on a single shelf of a gorilla rack. There's actually more miniatures there than it really looks, and I'll get into that later. So, this miniature is from WizKids. And keep in mind that they raised their prices in November just to have a Christmas sale where they could temporarily drop the prices back down, and then after the sale, jack them right back up. The corporation is not your friend, chum. So, and that's $400 for a painted piece of plastic that's basically the size of a live chicken. And it did not cost them nearly that much to make. Just painted plastic, no moving parts. Go ask your 3D printing friends about that. So everybody knows what a dragon is. It's pretty common. You could find a dragon figure of some size at Walmart, Target, Hobby Lobby, any toy store, or your grandmother's favorite crafting store. So why would you spend $400? There's far better ways to spend $400, and I'll let you in on a secret. Putting money into a D&D campaign is not what makes it better. Putting in time and effort does. Learn the game mechanics, whether you use them as is or modify them. Learn how to manage your table, how to communicate with your players, how to describe your scenes, that sort of thing. How to put together a plot line that makes sense and is interesting and engaging. That's what's going to make your campaign better. I'm a proponent of low-budget setups being the best model. Now, running a pure theater of the mind game, that's impressive, but that's not what I do. I mean, I think that kind of thing's really cool, but I like having figures and maps so that the confusion about distances and positions are easily settled. And if I put down a dragon, I can put down this guy, and I can say, okay, this dragon shows up. Here's the simulation of a dragon, except it is yay big, and its wings whoosh, whoosh, stir up the dust, almost blinding you as it lands with a solid thump on the ground of its massive legs. See, there I'm describing it. I'm not just setting down this giant figure and going, okay, here's what you see. Thunk. That's boring. You spent a lot of money, but you didn't do the presentation. You didn't actually put yourself into it, and it still ends up being boring despite you putting a bunch of money into a miniature. So, I know it's a little wargamey, but I also shy away from trying to fully represent everything with exact monsters, exact miniatures, because this forces you to put in the description and not be lazy. So there it is. The full "what you see is what you get" is a feature of tabletop wargaming like Warhammer, which I used to play. And that's where the exact representations of this unit has these weapons and these distances are exactly this, and you can only move this distance. That's where it really matters. There's a little more leeway in a role-playing game. But you at least have some representation on the board, and then some amount of interpretation through role-play and imagination. So, I'm not one of those YouTubers who set up a bookshelf of games and books behind them when I film, nor a table of the newest props so that I could set out in front of me so I can have some kind of store-bought authority over the subject. Authority on the subject, again, doesn't come from your wallet. So I'm just a guy on his front porch or garage or his wife's office or wherever. And that's just me. Now here's what I use for my minis. Now, we have these guys from Plano. Whole bunch of different individual compartments. You can get about 2 miniatures in each one of normal human type sizes. And 3 of those will fit into a tackle box. This is all you need. And in fact, you don't even need this much. So $400 for a miniature? No, not going to happen. And that's not what I'm going to do. Like I said, this is more than enough to run games. You don't have to blow that kind of money on a game. WizKids is just trying to take you for a ride with $400 for one chunk of plastic that you can easily do without and probably make your games better through your own role play, through your own time and effort, than you can through just buying some chunk of plastic. So, that's just me, DM Kurt.